Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to Claret and Booze. 1 minute. I've just had to change my software over because StreamYard weren't working. Just going to get myself straight. 1 minute. Let's get your comments coming in. There we are. Right. Yeah. West Ham 1, Fulham 1. Danny Ings saves the day. That was just another traumatic experience from the time that the starting lineup was announced. It was fucking harrowing to see that again. And I'm gonna say, look, listen. I'm gonna do this review based on I'm the same, because otherwise I'm a hypocrite. So I'm gonna be open and honest as I always am. Yes, we're talking about the 10 games. Give him 10 games. This, that, the other. We've built a great squad. We saw that in the second half. But the first 3 games, excluding Man City in that one, 4, the starting lineups have been fucking shocking. And I mean inexcusably shocking. Inexcusably. It doesn't make you a genius to leave great players on the bench and then bring them on and then you look better. That don't make you a fucking genius. It really doesn't. That's the equivalent of me with my kids' team leaving the 2 strikers on the bench to score all the goals, leave them on the bench in the first half, and then bring them on in the second half. They score a couple of goals. I'm a genius. No, I'm not a genius. I'd be a fucking dickhead, wouldn't I? I would be. You start with your strongest team. On what planet? You could not have asked one West Ham fan, not one single fucking West Ham fan would have gone, we want Lopetegui in there. None of them. None of them would have. My bloody... no, nothing's working. Can you hear me all right, everyone? I know it's not the same. I'm having issues at the moment in here. But there isn't one other West Ham fan that would have called that. They wouldn't have. They wouldn't have said, play Souček or Antonio. They definitely wouldn't have said, play both. What the absolute fuck? And to leave it for the entire first half. We could again... That game could have been well out of sight. 3-0. 4-0. Again, we were played off the park. I don't think we had a shot on target in the first half, did we? It was fucking ridiculous. It really was. To the point where I was struggling to feel anything for that, watching that in that first half. It was fucking rubbish. We had no ball players in there at all. Even Cascarino, who was on commentary, was saying what we could all see. You've got 3 players in the midfield. You've got no passers. How the fuck can Paqueta be dropped for Souček? How can Kudus be played out of position on the left to accommodate Souček? Was you watching Souček press? Jogging towards the goalkeeper. Everything the geezer does is in slow fucking motion. Antonio was rubbish. We all knew he would be. His touch is terrible at the best of times, but after long haul flights back from fucking Jamaica, he's less than useless. So there must have been something before that game, some sort of fitness test to ascertain the sharpness of the players to affect what Lopetegui was going to do to pick that lineup. Because there's no excuses for it. There's none. Not that I can see. So I'm gonna base it on exactly how I would fucking score David Moyes. Because you know something, I'm starting to see scary comparisons, not in style of play, but in the way this team is being managed. A whole fucking swath of people, tons of people can see the glaring errors. And they are errors. We was all right, because guess what he done in the second half? He hooked them fucking both off. So we're not stupid. It's got nothing to do with Lopetegui's an expert. You shouldn't question him. No, we were fucking right. They shouldn't have been anywhere near that team, and he corrected it in the second half. But the first half was tragic. That lineup. I'm telling you, I've said the 10-game thing, right? I've said the 10-game thing. But if he does that again and again and again, I'm going to flip. I am going to flip on him. I'm going to run out of patience with him. Tim's built a great fucking team there. He's been given all the fucking tools. He's got all the tools. Look at the difference in that second half. When you've got footballers on the pitch. Amazing. You've got Lopetegui on the sidelines losing his mind when Antonio lets a ball slip. What do you fucking expect from Antonio? What do you expect from him? He's going to do that. He can't control the fucking ball. It's all very well you standing there with a red face stamping your fucking feet. Pick the right team. Put the right team on the fucking pitch. He started in the second half with, Somerville came, well, they both came off. So Antonio and Somerville came off. I'm done with the fucking first half. That's it. That's done. But we started in the second half with Somerville out on the left, with Bowen as a centre forward, with Kudus on the right wing, and with Paqueta in the 10. What we've all been fucking saying all week. So don't give me all this, the managers, you know, they're the expert. Well, no, we clearly do have half a fucking idea as football fans what we're watching, don't we? You know, honestly, it was ridiculous. The second half, far better. You know, Paqueta, for anyone that questions that man being in that starting lineup again, I hope you've all given yourself your fucking heads a wobble, because it has got nothing to do with the player. It's the way that we've been playing. There's always been more questions than answers. That second half, that's the first time I think that we've set out with a team where I couldn't really question it in that second half. In the formation, that was fine. If we'd have started with that, I'd have had no issue at all. The next sub, bringing Rodriguez off for Soler, that was good. That was an intelligent sub. It's a fucking obvious sub. I would have done the same thing. But it's nice to see that the manager can see what we can see. But we did have chances. You know, that chance from Bowen. Bowen does, I've got to admit, the more I'm seeing of Bowen now, when I see him play central, he is starting to look a little bit like a striker. I mean, that move where the first touch took him in between two players, and you know, people are saying he could have lifted it, but it was very close proximity to the keeper. He created that chance. You know, it was unlucky. He could have scored that. He looked fantastic in there. Kudus just ran out of... We either ran out of steam or ran out of patience, because you can't tell me that this isn't going to affect players in that team the same way that it's going to affect and demoralise fans. If we can see it, they can fucking see it. How do you think they feel being sent out with a weakened team? If I did that with my kids' team, took off 3 fucking players that can win you a game and that can do this and do that, and sent them out like fucking lambs to the slaughter, I'd lose them completely. They'd think I'm fucking useless. I don't know what I'm doing. And they'd be right. They would be right. And there's going to be people that come out there and say, oh no, he's taught Paqueta a lesson. That's what he's done. That's why Paqueta came on and, you know, he looked a bit better in the second. Don't be stupid. The game plan was try and hold on to the ball and kill the game for about 60 minutes. He was always going to bring these players on. But the game plan was to try and hold it at 0-0 for as long as you can. And then what he'll do is Lopetegui will get the headlines again. He'll make the changes, bring the players on that should have started the fucking game, and we'll go on and win the game. And, you know, that's... Start with your strongest fucking team. For God's sake. Danny Ings comes on, scores a goal. Very good finish as well. Saves the day. Because we had a little purple patch in the second half, about 15 minutes, something like that. But Marco Silva did not fuck around. When he could see that we was getting control of that game, he just changed it all up completely. He made about 4 or 5 changes himself. All of a sudden, they was on the front foot again. They were. You know, I thought Reece Nelson was going to stick one up us because obviously we turned him down. So I thought this is going to have Duran written all over it. Luckily, he didn't score. He had a chance. But look, what I'm going to do quickly, I'm going to invite someone on to come and talk with me. Right, one moment. So stick with me, people, because we're not done yet. I just wanted to blow me top a minute and get that off my chest, because I'm not happy. How are you lot all feeling after that? Honestly. After watching that, you're all going to be relieved because we're fucking shithouse the point. But it's Fulham. Everyone's relieved that we scored and we got a point. But what have we learned? What have we learned today? I'll tell you what I've learned. I've learned nothing fucking positive about that manager. It's good that he put the team on the obvious... You can't give him credit for putting on the strongest team in the second half. You can't. Because it's fucking... It's an obvious thing to do. It's to put your best players on the pitch. He did that to dig him out of shit because he could see it weren't working. Right, one moment. Bear with me, people. I'm going to sort this out very quickly. 1 minute. There we go. Right, there you go, mate. It's there. It's on a different bit of software. I couldn't get StreamYard working. I don't know why. It's been dicking me around. But I know people are saying, look, we lost the same game 5-0 last season. Darren, we could have been 3-0 down in the first half, mate. It's all about taking your chances. We were shit. We were shit. We were. It was... I'm sorry. I'm over the moon with what I witnessed in that second half. I was getting behind that team. That was lovely. Brilliant seeing that team come out in the second half. But you can't ignore the way the man started that game. He was forced into it. He was absolutely forced into making all of those changes double quick. He didn't want to be doing that because he's been proven wrong. Right, 1 minute. I can't see you, mate. 1 second. Let me get this up here. Oh, right, there you are. Hello, mate. Right, 1 second. I'm going to get you on in it. Right, I'm just going to switch screens, people. This software is not ready for this. So bear with me. See if it works. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, mate. I can hear you. You all right?
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, good. Is it clear?
Yeah, I can't get anything working. I don't know what's happening.
Right, so I've got most of your round right. Hello, by the way, but I've got to get into this, mate, because this is where Claret and Booze is important. Because as a fan of this show, what's always been the case is we've never been delusional. So let's stick to the facts, right? I just give me a couple of minutes. Let me learn with it. So today, I flew from Spain to the UK. I love West Ham, like everyone else out there does. I fucking love our club, right? I flew from Spain to England to spend the day with my brothers, my two younger brothers, to watch a game of football because of the passion and fucking love of our club. As soon as the lineup came out, as soon as that lineup came out, what I saw irrefutably was a weaker team than the only time we've played well this season against Man City when we lost, and we demonstrated a stronger team. We lined up with a weaker team than we finished our last best game with. Now, where's the logic in that, first and foremost? Why would you play Souček and Antonio? Antonio's still in Jamaica. He weren't even in Jamaica, but his legs are in Jamaica. He's still out of the country. Then you got Souček, who, as we know and we've seen, so this isn't negative, it's just observations. Souček, who this season, he might have banged in, is it 1 or 2 fucking goals? I don't care. For the rest of the game, is completely to the detriment of us playing fucking football.
Mate, I completely agree, mate.
Do you know what? I want to end with this and pass it back to you. We've got to be fair, right? This channel was all about Moyes out, and I am Moyes out, and I'm glad we got rid of him. But we've got to be fucking honest and say, with performances like we've seen this season, are we not going to judge it? And people say, it's only 5 games or 4. Yeah, but it's been the same thing every time we're all a bit disillusioned with, well done, he's not playing our best players. What's going on there then? That shouldn't be the case. And I said to my brothers, watching with my brothers, I said, bruv, can you name me 3 times this match where we've strung 4 good progressive passes together?
Jay,
no, I couldn't.
Jay, I'm going to tell you something now, right? I am. And this is a big thing for me. And this ain't me saying I want David Moyes. I can't stand fucking David Moyes. This is how big a problem I see this at the moment. David Moyes wouldn't have put that team out with the players he had available. He never dropped Paqueta for Souček. When he had Paqueta, Bowen and Souček there, you pick your best fucking players at least. I didn't like the tactics, but what the fuck was that? I've got no clue. And do you know what? I thought he'd learned after Man City. I thought he had. I thought he'd learned. But do you know what? It's quite obvious, right? From what we're seeing, I've been told for fucking weeks now by people that know about this manager. I don't know much about him, saying he is pragmatic. He is. When he was in Spain, he was in Sevilla. He had a better defensive record than fucking Atletico Madrid. He's cautious, super cautious. So against Man City, it's a free hit. Providing we have a go at Man City, the fans will be happy, as was proved. We lost 3-1. We all came away happy. That was a free hit. So he took Souček out. But in the games that we're expected to compete in, that's how the man's going to fucking approach it. Even with all that talent that we've got. And that second half, because the thing is, you're starting us off on the wrong foot. You have to, why go a goal down? And it weren't like it came from nowhere, Jay. They could have had 2, 3, 4 goals in that first half. The penalty could have been given, or Traore might not have shit himself and looked for the penalty. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Honestly, and he's slow to react. Yes, he made the changes at half time, but we saw that at Man City when we saw how narrow the fullbacks were at Man City, and they were overloading around the outside. But he waited until half time. It's like he's got to consult with someone first before he makes a fucking change.
This is the problem. Listen, let me interject. This is the thing. For people that say it's only been 5 games, I'm not arguing with that. But when it's been the same glaringly obvious problems, when do you start asking yourself, well, why has he done that again? Why has he done that again? Like, when you allowed, and I'm still, for the record, Loppy in, fucking come on, Loppy, but why can't we as fans get behind him and say, you know, Loppy, what the fuck are you doing? These don't make sense. And that's the truth. That I'm not a professional coach, fair fucking enough. But I do know football, and when something is repeatedly not working, to keep repeatedly trying that same process, when is it all right to say, do you know what? Now this is bollocks. This don't make sense.
Jay, you know, as far as I'm concerned, that comment that you make there, which is something that gets levied at a lot of fans when they comment on football, we're not professional coaches, we're just fans. They know what they're doing. Well, I'm sorry. Every single fucking fan in that stadium knew more than Lopetegui today. All of us. We all knew when we saw that lineup, that's a fuck up. He had to reverse the fuck up at half time. So they're a professional. You can't question them fucking line. I'm sorry. And do you know what? It's starting to feel, because you know something? He will be able to see what we can see. He will. But there's something in my head that thinks this is how he wants to play. This is how he's tried to play and it didn't work. And is he going to do the classic Moyes thing of just keep on trying to do the same thing so he can get it right once and go, look, see, told you it works. I don't fucking know. It don't work. What works is playing your best team like we did in the second half. We'd have fucking won that game. We would have won that game. If we'd have started with that team for a start, we wouldn't have had to have been so gung-ho and so attacking from the off, like we were in the second half. We was leaving gaps in behind because we was having to chase the game. You start the game like that, you control the ball a little bit. Put Paqueta in the fucking middle. I'll tell you what, everyone's pissing and moaning about Paqueta. Oh, he loses the ball, this, that, the other. I'll tell you what, how do you feel now? You've had Souček, Rodriguez and Alvarez in there. I love Alvarez, but they ain't fucking creative. There's nothing progressive there at all. Nothing. You need someone that's going to get on the ball and make things happen.
And do you know what? The first half, Andy Townsend, as a commentator, it was like he was reading my mind. He was saying everything that is what, for those of you that will say, oh, you know, you're being negative, it's only 5 games. But hold on, we're all seeing it. The commentators are actually telling you as it's happening, look, there's nothing going on. He kept saying there's no ball playing from West Ham in midfield. In centre midfield, not having ballers that actually create in any blueprint of any team, that is illogical. To not have, because what we then get is two defensive midfielders that are overrun because there's a gap in front of them that should be fucking filled by someone that's turning on the ball, feeding it through, slotting it through to strikers like a Paqueta. That's not happening because he's standing up front, winning flick-ons to fucking no one. And then bless Mickey, what did he do? He
weren't winning flick-ons either. I mean, do you know what was really irritating me? And I think it was Townsend picked up on it when Souček was running the channels. I mean, jogging the fucking channels, because he can't sprint, he can't press, he can't do fucking anything. How on earth has he started so many games? I could understand it under Moyes. I think Moyes, used him better than this. I fucking hated Moyes' ball. Can't stand it. When I said I wanted change, I wanted fucking change. That's what we want. What we saw in the second half, we've got the tools. Like I said, Tim has given Lopetegui the tools, as we've all seen now. So, where is it? Look, so you got Rob's here. Rob says, I was still proud of the effort in the second half. The boys did well. Mate, I get that. But you've got to question why the boys in the second half did better versus the boys in the first half. They was fucking hamstrung. I'm going to call him it. That was today. That was a donkey managerial fucking performance. He's going to get a fucking donkey. He's getting his first donkey. That was fucking shit. It was shit. It was shit. I'm sorry. No. I'm not going to give him credit for making the changes, bringing on players that should have started that fucking game. I ain't giving him credit for that. He tried to dig himself out of shit. That's what he tried to do. I'm fucking fuming.
And I want to add to that, and in fairness to Rob, the thing is, Rob, is why against that Fulham team, when we've got the 11 potential players that could have started, are we having to say, well, I'm proud of the boys in the second half. They should have all been on in the first half, and we should have been going at them straight away. Why did we play? Because, again, it don't matter that Souček, it's not about even the player. It's just what he does. When he's on the pitch, we are then restricted to a style of play that is bollocks to watch, is ineffective, and then we're complimenting on the fact that in the second half when he puts on the good players,
mate, can I say something as well?
Better.
But can I say something? Right. That setup was there to be defensively solid, not to create fuck all, because it never will. We created nothing in that first half. So you would imagine, okay, it's there to be defensive. So you're creating fuck all, but you're playing a high line, and you're getting they was picking us off with ease. If you're going to play a high line, you've got to be on the ball. You've got to be progressive. You can't be giving the fucking ball to them and then playing a high line and say, go on, ping it over the fucking top at will. You can't be doing that. It is honestly, it was so upside down and back to front. I could not work it out. The players that we've got in that team will dig any manager out of shit at some point in the season. They're going to. They're going to win games on their own. You've got Paqueta, you've got Kudus, you've got Bowen. You've got all of these players that when you put them on the pitch, good things will happen. It's got fuck all to do with coaching. Nothing. But I tell you what has got something to do with coaching. Player for player, right? We're way better than Fulham. Way better than Fulham. But they were coached. And I know he hasn't had much time with the team yet, but you look at the way they ping the ball about, the transitions, the way they move up the pitch. Right. That is fluid. That is them working as a team. We looked great individually when these new players come on. We still didn't look amazing as a team. There was one move, that move, you know, where Kudus nipped it into Bowen, and we was pressing more in the second half. That was exciting. We was pressing more. But apart from that, you know, as a team, I ain't seen any. I can't tell you what our identity is. What is it? I don't know.
I said the same to me, brother. I said exactly the same to me, brother. I said, this is the thing. I said, Dan, I said, at the minute, tell me what style of football we're playing.
Oh, mate. Darren, are you trying to wind me up? Jay, address that. Darren Wackhorn, come on, Nick. You've got to give him credit for pulling that one out of the hat.
Right. Hold on. Let me answer that first, because otherwise it will seem like you're leading. So let me answer that. The thing is, Darren, right? When we're saying pulling it out of the hat, would you agree or disagree that when you saw that lineup, would you agree that it wasn't our strongest 11 that was available for today? Because if you would agree to that, then that statement is void. Because it's like saying, right, we start with our less good players, to be polite about it, and we don't play so well, and then we switch it up and we put on our better players. Oh, and we play well, and well done, manager, for noticing something that we've all been saying for a couple of weeks. Play your best fucking players.
Look, and here's Trini. This fan base is fickle. It's 4 games, for fuck's sake. I'm sorry, Trini. You've got to be seeing something at the moment. I'm seeing nothing, right? He will get 10 games. Of course he'll get 10 games. He'll get more than that if he manages to scrape results and stuff like that. But at the moment, we're seeing nothing. We're seeing nothing. The players, we've got a great squad. What we've got is Tim has built a great fucking squad. Amazing. They've done amazing work. We've got great players there. That part of the project, bang on. But I'm not seeing a manager that can use these fucking players at the moment. I'm not. Right. I'll tell you what, this will all be void. It will all be void. If for the next 2 games, he starts starting the right fucking players. Start putting the right players on the pitch from the start, then this goes away. But all the while, he's starting with a weakened fucking team. I'll go back to the analogy I gave you earlier on. Me and my team that I manage, you've got 2-star strikers that score all the goals. I'm going to leave them on the bench. Half time, all your players are fuming, everyone's fuming. Fucking why aren't they on the pitch? I stick them on, they score 3 goals. We win the game.
Well done, Nick.
Yeah, but am I brilliant? Am I brilliant, or am I still a fucking idiot?
Mate, listen, in that example, this is, to use your terminology, you're an idiot. And the thing is, when is it, we rate players every game. From the start of the season, we rate players. To rate the coach in this today, on that performance, why is it not all right to say, do you know what, 5 games in, this ain't good enough, coach. What you produced today, when it was glaringly obvious, listen, he's a defence-minded coach, and one thing positive, our defence is better than it was last season. He hasn't got to do much with the attack. He's just got to fucking play them. All he's got to do is let them play on the pitch, as we saw in the second half when it did improve. And as a positive, Jimmy I thought looks fucking lively, and give him a shirt next game.
He did.
He was a positive today.
He did look
Absolutely.
good. I tell you when he went out the game. He went out the game when Emerson came off because Wan-Bissaka, he's a right-sided left back, and he's pulled inside all the time. I think it was John that brought that point up before. From that point,
John said that.
Yeah, but from that point on, Somerville didn't really. He wasn't really impacting the game because, like I said, Wan-Bissaka doesn't play down the line. He can't. He's not left-sided.
Yeah. You know what, though, Nick? He came on and we got Kudus on the right-hand side, and straight away, again, I was saying to my brother, I was saying, listen, he's our best player. To shunt him out when we've got a perfectly capable left winger who's inverted to pull in on the right, like we've got Bowen or Kudus on the left, on the right to do the same thing, pull in and can hit from on his stronger foot, his right foot. We've got that now. To again keep our best player out of his best position, which is either 10 or right. Give him either one, just not left. And the simple logic in that is, right, you've got one position where he's not as good in, your best player, I'm going to play him there. That don't make sense. And I think Jimmy done well today. And go on.
I'm just so confused by this. You know, and for everyone, there's people in the chat going, oh, fucking, you know, you're winding me up now. I was on board with you. Like, do you know what? I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. What this channel's always been built on is being honest. I'm going to tell you what I think. I've been feeling like this for a few games. I didn't really blow me top too much after the Palace game. I was fucking fuming after that one as well, with the lineup that he gave. Fuming. Right? So I am trying to be patient with him. But at the end of the day, I need something fucking back here because... Do you know what? I campaigned for a year to get rid of David Moyes, citing football style shit. I don't want to watch defensive football anymore. I don't want to watch defensive shit football anymore. That was my main driver for wanting David Moyes to go. If he's going to be a defensive manager, I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to be on fucking board with him. I'm not. If he's going to be cautious, if he's going to shit himself, if he's going to be another last 20 minutes, 15 minutes fucking merchant to try and get something out of the game, I'm not going to be on board with it. I'm not going to be. It's as simple as that. And if you're on board with it when you was against Moyes, you're a fucking hypocrite, as far as I'm concerned. Because it's the same thing.
You took the words out of my mouth. This is the thing. For everyone, if you're on this channel, more than likely, you was a Moyes out candidate. More than likely. Because this channel was clearly that.
Yeah.
And this is when I spoke to you earlier, Nick. I said the same thing to you. I said, do you know what, mate? The truth is, I'd be such a hypocrite if I didn't say right now at this stage, that lineup, and the thing is what you've just said, is knowing what you've got available. He's got a much stronger squad.
Do you know what?
We've nearly got cover in all positions, bro. We nearly got cover in all positions, and we're not playing our best fucking players.
You can really tell which fans don't watch the fucking game, can't you? Jesus Christ. Honestly, mate.
What's the comments? Put them up, mate.
No, I can't be off. Jesus Christ, we're 4 games in, guys. No, do you know what? No, I don't care. I don't care if we're fucking 4 games in. I don't care. Right? If things change, what you don't realise is, people, you'll be sitting there, the ones going, oh, he just wants it to go. I don't want to be Lopetegui out. No, I don't. Because all of those be careful what you wish for cunts are going to be saying, I told you so. It's the last thing that I want is for Lopetegui to fail. That's why I'm getting so angry and so irate, because I need him to succeed. I want him to succeed. I don't want to be seeing this. But I'm not... I tell you what, I'm being more, and there's only 4 games. I'm being more patient with him than I would be with some. With them mistakes, the repeated mistakes of that lineup that he's making, I'm sorry, it's bollocks, bullshit, and he proved it was bullshit by the changes that he made at half-time. He proved us all fucking right. So why did you start like that, mate? Why did you? What was your thought process? What was you hoping to fucking achieve by starting with a weakened team against Fulham, a team that we want to be beating because we do want to be pushing for Europe? And I'm assuming that his bosses want him to be pushing for Europe, which is why he's been back with so much fucking money.
Listen, the thing is, mate, again, it's because there are positives to take to this game. First and foremost, we got a draw. We scraped a draw. Now, in fairness, that's because we ended up with the players that were on the pitch to finish the game would have been players that, if they'd have started the game, you'd have been pissed off that we scraped the draw because you would have thought, right, they beat Fulham. And we probably would have beat Fulham. But we did scrape a draw. And do you know what? I am over the moon for the point.
Oh,
But
fucking hell.
one of the things for me,
My
for a long
drink's
time
gone
with
all over my
Moyes,
carpet
was
when that went
coming to
in.
the end of games like that and just thinking, well, that was a bunch of shit. And today was in its not entirety, but for most of it was a bunch of shit. It really was.
It weren't good at all. It just improved. But fucking hell. Honestly, like I said, the people that watch his channel, I'm not going to be beat down by this. You've got enough gaslighting fucking channels out there that will spin this positively, and that's fine. Everyone does things their own way. I don't care. You know, the result is positive because we didn't deserve anything out of that game. It should have been over and done with at half time. It should have been over and fucking done with at half time. So to get a point out of it is incredibly positive. But you're not going to get gaslighting on here. I refuse to fucking bow down to people that say, oh, you're being negative. No, I'm not being negative. Well, if I am, I'm being honest. I'm being negative because what the fuck do you want me to be about that? Do you want me to just ignore the first half? Ignore what he's doing? Ignore what I'm seeing? Ignore what I'm feeling? No, I'm not going to. So, do you know what? I fucking hope he proves me wrong. I pray Lopetegui proves me wrong. Please prove me wrong. I want him to.
I still got, listen, I'm still 100%. I was excited being there today. I'd like seeing him on the touchline, giving it some behind him. So no one says, oh, you're just fucking against. No, I am 100% behind him, which is why you would hope, as a passionate fucking football fan, you can have a rant at the end of the game when you say, you know what, this is fucking shit, mate. This is like, and as simple as that. You don't have to try and complicate it. What you just saw, I'm interested. Did anyone see a game there that you could walk away from and say, West Ham gave it a go today? Because if you
No.
did, then I'm way off the mark. Because I think that's what we did.
If you're at that game, because it's different when you're at the game. If you're at the game, you'll be buzzing because the second half would have been good, and that last minute goal, there's nothing better than a last minute goal to nick a point. So you'll come out of that feeling positive, and the last memory that you'll have will be the atmosphere, the dancing, the singing, the dancing, and everything else. So of course, the people that went to the game will feel differently. But when you watch it, like most fans do on TV, because there weren't going to be that many away fans there today, the majority of people are going to see that for what it was. And it was almost, because I tell you what, he had to get something out of that fucking game. Because I've been ranting enough on here. This is fucking toned down. If he hadn't have got something out of that game, I would have gone even fucking worse. I was fuming, raging with what he did there. Because he gets paid how much? And you're picking it, mate. Mate, you're getting paid that much money, and you're sending your team out weakened. What the fuck? Honestly, I just think it's ridiculous. Honestly, I think it is.
You know what though? You made a good point. I just want to touch on as well. For the fact, I just thought you're right because I felt amazing coming over to England just to watch it with my brothers. And yeah, at the end, I cheered. That I listened. I went mad with that goal. I jumped on both my brothers. Shout out to Paul and Dan. Like, and just to do that special thing as a West Ham fan, celebrate a goal and everything else. So I'm not negative about the whole experience. But you've got to be allowed to be honest about, okay, if we break it down into chunks, as a bigger chunk, what was it? Well, it was shit. Because the reason it was shit is because we had better assets that were sitting on the bench that could have been playing fucking football from the first half that probably would have influenced the game a lot different in the first half. And then we bring him on in the second half. I don't see the logic in that. That's not a coaching masterpiece.
This is what I can't work out, Jay. This is what I can't work out. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing it? Why would you not want to put your strongest fucking team out? And he obviously knows. He obviously knows what he needs to do because he did it in the second half. He knows what he needs to do. Why would you do that?
Right.
I don't get it. I mean, you got iron bubbles here, mate. I disagree with this, mate. I agree with some stuff you're saying. First half 11 was shit, but the second half wasn't much better. It was much better. It weren't perfect. We're not playing great football. We ain't playing great football, but because
that's the point. And the point of disappointment in this is what everyone's saying about the second half. I fucking agree, but I can't put it as the big positive, knowing that, well, yeah, it was better in the second half because we have people out there that was in the right positions playing their football and better than what was there in the first half. I can't over then that, and because then you've got to question yourself, well, why ain't they started? Why ain't they started?
Mate, honestly, it's fucking ridiculous. Thank you, Danny Ings, anyway, for popping up and scoring. But Troj says, did J-Lo... Yeah. Did J-Lo watch us the last 2 seasons? Well, it does make you wonder. I mean, if you listen to the man, or you listen to the people around him, he's been studying us for 5 months. So, I don't know, mate. But even so, Troj, he has these players on the fucking training pitch. You will know yourself who's got ability and who hasn't. So just the actual fucking fact that he picks that starting lineup and using jet lag as a reason why we didn't fucking play Paqueta is completely void because he played Antonio. This is him picking. This is his preference. This is how he wants to approach games. He wants to be cautious and pragmatic and try to nil the shit out of it all the way to about 60 minutes with very bland football. He wants to shut the game down for 60 minutes. And then he wants to be the superhero by bringing players on who are going to win the game for him. What the fuck is that?
That's just too familiar. That's when you can't not be hypocritical, if you could say. And then we'll say, all right, so after 5, it's just 5 games. All right, it's just 5 games. But there is a pattern starting to be built now, which is concerning. Because every international break, there is going to be things thrown into disarray. Now, if you look how our team came back, the fact that he chose what he chose in the situation that he had with players that hadn't been away makes you think, do you think they're that much better than what you've got bench?
Hang on a minute, 1 minute. Metaversal threat. I can donkey up a new manager after 5 games. I've made him exempt for the first 3 because it's completely impartial the way we do our rating. The way we do our rating system is if you are a 1 to 4, you get a fucking donkey. He ain't any higher than a 1 to 4 on that. He really ain't. It's as simple as that. With that starting lineup, he's a. I'll give him a 2 for doing the obvious in the second half. I mean, I'd give the team a 10 out of 10 for their effort and their application in the second half. I would do, and for just dealing with even in the first half, Jay. I don't blame the team. It's not their fault. If you're set up like that against a well-oiled machine like Fulham, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah. And the thing is, in the first half, as we saw, it didn't work once. So the one-dimensional style of football you have to play with that personnel on the pitch, it was totally ineffective. And me and my brothers were talking, I was saying, why can't we have a manager that after 30 minutes can go, do you know what? I've got this completely wrong. Let me shift it about. Like, let me show. I ain't scared.
The worry is wherever Lopetegui goes, right? He takes an entourage, the same people with him, wherever he goes. So whenever something ain't quite working and he's ranting and screaming and shouting, he's going over and he's consulting with people, about, what it could be, what do I do? We don't fucking know. He could have a tactician there that basically, this might be why it has to wait until half time. I haven't got a fucking clue. But it could be that. Because when you see Marco Silva on the sidelines, when we made those changes, he did not fuck around. He got back control of that game double quick. With the changes that he made, he changed it around and he kind of counteracted whatever we attempted to do in the second half. But hang on, look, I'm just going to put this up, Jay, because we were saying this all through last season. And I'm still going to say it now because these 3 in the middle would still be, I think, one of the best central midfields in the fucking Premier League. We've got it there. We've just got to use it.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That just sums up that is a top fucking 4, arguably, central midfield.
100%.
The hub of the pitch where everything is supposed to be played from, and like as in picking. If we're supposed to be playing out from the back, well, guess what? You've got to have your best ballers on the pitch that can fucking play on the turn. And then if you're going forward, you need your best attack. Kudus and Paqueta at the prong with Alvarez behind him. Whoever you put in front of them, you're onto a. Don't.
Mate, honestly, look, we can do this to death, and we're going to do it to death, people, because I'm going to be back later on the Claret and Booze Extra Time channel. If you want to watch me later, we're on at 9 p.m. and I'm on with Luigi and Sam, so they're not fucking happy. So this is probably going to go from one rant to another. I've got to be honest. So if you do want to watch us later. Jump over to the Claret and Booze Extra Time channel on YouTube, and you'll see us on there. And Mickey, well done on the watch along, mate. You had loads of people in there as well. Yeah, he did well on that. So it worked well as well. It worked well. But no, look, at the end of the day, we've got a point. which is better than none.
Yeah.
So that's
Well done,
4 points,
well done, West
4 points, 4 points from 4 games. We go against Chelsea next. We play anything like that in the first half against Chelsea, we're going to be lucky. We was lucky today to not be 3 goals down. We was lucky against Palace to not be 3 goals down. We was lucky against Aston Villa to not be 4 goals down in the first fucking half. If he plays anything like that against Chelsea, at some point we're going to get absolutely ruined. In fact, the only team that didn't really destroy us, well, no, it's not true. Because Man City could have had 4 goals in 17 minutes, couldn't they? But they're Man City, so you give them a pass because it's Man City. But basically, in every single fucking game we've played, people keep saying our defence has got better. I'm not entirely convinced. I'm just thinking there's chances galore for the opposition when they're playing against us. Look at the stats. We're conceding fuckloads of chances. We're not playing a low block, but I don't really get what it is that we're trying to do, both in attack or defence. I don't get what we're even building towards in terms of identity. I've got no clue. And will he pick Thomas Souček in the next game? Most fucking probably. Most probably. I think he will. I think he, especially if Fulkrug isn't fit. You know. Well, I'll tell you one positive from today. I do think that Bowen looked tasty as a centre forward. Further forward, he looked good. Running down the middle.
Mate.
I thought he looked
Let
good.
me say one thing about Bowen. That ball that got whipped across and he done that touch. That was like that Haaland touch. You know, he touched it with his left and banged it with his right. It was his only good chance. That first touch was world class, people. In between 2 players, 2 defenders in the box. And if he'd have just had a little bit more composure, he could have dinked it over the keeper.
There was one better touch. There was a better touch than that. That was one where he took it over Calvin Bassey. And Calvin Bassey, in the second half, the ball's come into him. It was fizzed into him. And his first touch, he's literally flicked it over Calvin Bassey's head. And Calvin Bassey had to foul him. It was an unbelievable touch.
Yes,
you know, what he did to him there.
That was also, again, he did. He looked sharp.
Yeah. He looked sharp playing central. I must admit, he didn't look sharp on the right wing. But then again, why would he? Why would Kudus look sharp? Why would Bowen look sharp? The other thing that the commentator did point out in the second half, and it was true, was that Kudus he looked like he'd given up towards the end of the second half. He looks very sulky. He weren't chasing back anymore. I do think that is what this is what is going to happen though. I think when players start to lose faith in what the manager is saying to them or trying to do, this is what you're going to get. This is what David Moyes suffered with. He suffered with the same thing. They weren't buying into the shit that he was trying to sell them. And the same will happen with Lopetegui. He ain't managing Wolves now. He's got a PSG player on the bench, mate. You know? Yeah.
But you know what, mate? You know what? Look, I'm going to jump off now, but I just want to say I'm so happy with the point. I'm fucking over the moon that we got a point. But to sum it up for me is I've got to be honest and say we nicked a fucking point. Regardless of how good we played in the second half, we nicked a point today. That's what happened.
Yeah, no, we did nick a point. We smashed and grabbed a point, and like I said to you, the fans that went today will have had a great time. And look, you will get positivity. And you know what? I'll do a debrief in the morning as well, which will be much calmer. But this is a post-match reaction. At the end of the day, you will get a lot of people that they're gonna just find the positives in that and just go, well, Lopetegui's still learning, and look at the second half. That's what we're going to be seeing. Well, no, I don't buy it. He knew. He knows what. This is what really fucking confuses me, mate. He knew exactly what to do in that second half, and it was obvious because it was the obvious thing to do. It's what we've been saying. It's what we've been saying all week. We've been saying the same thing all week. Everyone has, not just us. Everyone has.
And that's why I can't give him the credit of it was inspired what he did. No, it was not inspired. It wasn't that he changed the game. What happened was he just put on, in its simplistic terms, he put on his best players, and then we played better. And that for me sums it. And that's why you ain't got to be a professional coach to watch a game like that. Go, yeah, I know what we did wrong there. Like, didn't he? How long did it take?
I'm just seeing some mad dictator shit going on. That's what I'm seeing. Just I actually am. I don't know that I'm not. I'll tell you what. Am I fully behind Loppy? I'm going to tell you now, and I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm not calling for Loppe to be sacked. No, I'm not fully behind Loppe at this stage. I'm not. I'm here to be won over though, as many fans are. So, and I hope to be won over. But at this moment in time, I've lost a bit of faith in him. It's as simple as that. It's down to Lopetegui to fucking win that back. You don't get respect handed to you. You have to earn it. And that's the same with any walk of fucking life, or it should be anyway. And when a new manager comes into a job, they do get time and this, that, the other. And they would do. But fuck me. At least if you're making, to make the same glaring errors with something so basic, the lineup. I can't get on board with that. I can't get on board with that. It's fucking stupid. I can't. And like I said, it would be me being a hypocrite if I sat here saying to you, no, it's all good, it's this, that, the other, because that ain't how I fucking feel. And I would have been exactly the same with Moyes last year, so I'm giving him the same treatment, I'm afraid. And yes, that was a donkey-worthy performance. It was a 1-4. He's getting a fucking donkey. He is. He is.
Mate,
simple as that.
Thank you very much. I'm going to shoot, bruv. I'm still behind Loppe. I'm not as I'm not gone there yet with him. I'm not Loppe out.
I'm not Loppe out. I'm just saying I don't back him at this. Yeah. I'm not Loppe out. I'm here to be won over again. But I tell you what, 10 games of this shit, I think I will be. If it's like this, if he makes these same mistakes, I'm not talking about results, Jay. I'm not talking about results. If he does this for 10 games, I'm not going to be keen on him in the fucking slightest. I'm not.
Brother, I said if this is what he does for 10 games...
This ain't a change. This ain't a change.
No, if there isn't any change. And we should know the identity of West Ham after 10 games. If we still don't, then there's a massive problem. And that's a fact. It really is. But anyway, come on, West Ham. Fucking come on. We've got a point.
And also, everyone, sorry about the chat because I didn't put the block on it. Normally I do to keep all the dickheads out, but they've found their way in. So on the next live show, they won't be here. All right? Half of them are probably blocked. All right, okay. So I'll speak to you later.
Mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Come on, your irons. Don't forget, later on, come and join us on the Claret and Booze Extra channel, 9 o'clock. I'll be on there with Louis and Sam, having a rant up. Come on, your irons.